UK correspondent Olly Barratt is joining us now. No guessing, of course, where your bet is placed, Olly, this morning. Are you hopeful?
Yeah, I think many England fans are confident but cautious at the same time. This has been a different type of tournament for England fans than we've seen over many recent years. England fans have become used to disappointment, but not just to disappointment, to getting that sense that the England team, when they come together on the international stage, don't really know what they're doing when they play together, that perhaps they don't enjoy playing for their country, that perhaps they don't appear to try very hard when they play for their country. This England team has somehow changed all of that, and so many England fans go into this game with a cautious sense of optimism. I was chatting to some England supporters last night who said they just feel, after all of their recent experience, that a terrible moment of heartache is coming at some point soon. But others feel that England, having got this far, having played well, having scored some goals, having handled themselves well in Russia, that actually whatever happens, England fans will be pretty happy with their team and how they've performed in the tournament. But yeah, make no mistake, this is a huge game for that England side, but also for England supporters who've suffered so much over the years.
Now, I hear many fans are looking for that omen that might just make it come home this time. People are even thinking about the colour of the kit that England should wear.
That's exactly right. Of course, that red kit has been lucky over the years and was worn famously in 1966. But, you know, that hasn't been lucky at some recent tournaments. The white kit perhaps will be favoured by some England fans. So there is that people are looking at. There's also the waistcoat situation. Waistcoat Wednesday, it's being dubbed today. Who would have thought going into this tournament that Gareth Southgate, the England manager, would be held up as a sartorial example? But he is. Marks and Spencer say they've been selling out of the waistcoat that he wears. Other British retailers have been talking about waistcoats selling like hotcakes as well. There will be many England fans wearing those waistcoats for the game tonight, hoping that adds something of the lucky omen to proceedings as well.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of fans in the stand during the last game, even wearing the same tie that the coach Southgate has been wearing. On the ground in London currently, I mean, are people really optimistic? All in on the serious note, do they really think England can pull it off? Because I recall just 4 weeks ago, under 4 weeks ago, when you and I spoke previewing England's prospects in this World Cup, they were not giving this young team any chance. There were not much expectation that they would achieve much, but now they are in the semis.
That's right, they're in the semis, they've played well. There is clearly the point to be made that they haven't faced a huge test so far. Now, Colombia was a tough game, Sweden was a tough game, but they haven't come up against a France or a Brazil or a Germany. They will now come up against a very decent Croatia side. That battle in the middle of the park with Luka Modric, considered to be one of, if not the best central midfielders in the world. This will be a very difficult game indeed, but I think England fans just feel that everything the team has shown so far in this tournament leads them to believe that there's a very good chance of England progressing to the final here if they play their best game. Tactically, again, Gareth Southgate perhaps hasn't answered too many questions during this tournament. He will certainly need to answer some tonight. There is a cautious optimism among England fans. They do like the way this team is playing. They like the fact that they seem to be committed to the style of play that they've gone into the tournament with. They don't appear to be deviating from that passing style as they progress to the latter stages. So I think cautious optimism is the right way to describe it. And the atmosphere here in London, I have to say, and across the UK, it is rather wonderful. We have had people, you hear people talking about football at every turn. You go past every home when you're walking around residential areas. People are watching the games. People are shouting and screaming and hugging strangers in pubs on a regular basis, having beer thrown over them and not caring about that at all. The country really has perhaps, and Gareth Southgate has alluded to this, perhaps the country has needed this moment of unity after a couple of years which have been pretty divisive in terms of politics and so forth. So England feels like it's needed this, England is enjoying this, and England hopes to enjoy another match on Sunday as well. Beautiful
to see the power of sport and football. Finally, Olly, before you go, I understand some English fans are already practicing It's Coming Home in French. So that come Sunday, maybe they'll be singing that one. Have you heard anything about that?
That's right. That's right, and that song, I won't be singing it for you, but that song, was always, back in 1996, wasn't actually about expectations that England would win that tournament, but they did progress to the semi-finals. The country united, the country enjoyed the tournament, and the country got behind the team, and that team remain legends to this day. And it's coming home with regard to this tournament, has felt about England uniting around this team, enjoying the sport, enjoying watching the national side. And so in many ways, people feel that football has come home already, whatever happens tonight.